Hi folks, today we're going to do the waterfall route, but we're going to do it the wrong way around. This is our final day doing a trip on the farm, and we want to have a spot where we can park and just have nice oversight on the way down from the waterfall route. On the first day we actually came across quite a nice spot to sit and have a look. So that's our plan. We're just going to go up there, and there's some nice obstacles that would be nice going this way up, so I'm gonna have a look and show you a bit about that. But yeah, let's just go out and enjoy it. Hi folks, we've encountered our first little bit of rough terrain. Let's have a look. We take it down to eye level. There we go. Now we've got ourselves a bit of a dip or a channel down here that is reasonably deep, and we have some loose rocks that are creating a step and a solid step at the back, and then we have an obstacle to the right preventing us from going right to miss the step. So what you want to do here is stay in the center of the road, go as slow as you possibly can, and yeah, my recommendation, first gear, low range, and you should reasonably make it easily through. Let's have a look. Alright folks, up next we've got some axle twisters, and they're not very deep, but yeah, if you play around and you don't keep your momentum, you might not make it. Let's have a look. Alright, so here's our first one. Very mild. Sets you up for the next one. This one has a bit of a mound here, which will probably want to hack at your belly of the car. So the undulation isn't that much, so you could reasonably just go straight through and you should be fine. And maybe perhaps keep slightly more to the right and climb over to avoid the belly hitting the pan here, and avoid hitting that step over there that's a bit so high, and then take it up from there. So let's see it in action. Right folks, so here we get some rough stuff. We have some dips here and a bit of a step climb, some sharp rocks, and that's that. And it's reasonably smooth sailing from there. So, spade holder adapter. It's very custom. It won't fit on any other vehicle or any other type of roof rack. Only my roof rack. And I've made it so I can lock it. Because, well, I live in South Africa. Anyway, but I needed something that would be able to lock and be reasonably easy to remove. You can't have both. You can't have it easy to remove and lockable at the same time. Maybe if I work on some nice design or something, I might be able to get that right. But yeah, let's have a look. Right, so now it's unlocked. All you need to do is lift it out. And the RC blows. You're ready to spade your way out of something. Shovel your way out of something. Of a hole or something. I don't know. But anyway, putting it back. Simple as slotting it like that. Giving a slight turn. Bringing it to bear. Sliding the flap over. There you go. There's absolutely no rattles. It's 2 moving parts on that mechanism, and as a whole, let's say 3 parts to the shovel holder. And this isn't going anywhere. You can't pull it backwards because this will stop that from happening. Yeah, you can't lift it out unless you bend this open, but this mild steel is pretty hard. You're going to need some special type of tool to sit in there, and in that half an hour it takes you to do that, someone would have come along or someone might stop you. If not, yeah, normally when I put all my stuff up on the roof, if I'm going somewhere, I probably won't leave the car alone. I would probably be close to it or park it within eyeshot so that I can see if anybody's tampering or anything in that sense. But yeah, overall I'm pretty happy with how it performed. We did roots and stuff, no rattles, didn't even move. It was on like I had it when I put it on at home, so no issues there. Right folks, so my jerry can holder, it's not perfect, but it has done a hell of a job. Absolutely no rattles, no wind noise, no nothing. I don't know if that's the aerodynamic shape of the jerry cans talking, but this was solid. When I got here, I even struggled to get them out. That's how solid it was on here. You'll see some in the video that it doesn't even bounce. Doing this, one would think that because of the weight and because of the length of these cross members that it would bounce. Didn't even budge. So yeah, I'm very happy. I made mild steel flat bar saddles that hold them onto this bar, and I think as a result that because you can put this on pretty tight, I think it just sealed the deal for this guy. I have it so that I hook on a ratchet strap that goes over, under, through here, over and hooks onto here. The reason I did that was because if you are in an accident or God forbid something bad happens to you in the vehicle, that for safety's sake you are able to remove the jerry can. So if the car is lying on its side or something like that, and emergency services need to be able to help you or free you from the situation, or perhaps you are stuck inside and the biggest threat will probably be the jerry cans, then anyone with a knife or any sharp object can just come and cut the ratchet strap and remove the jerry cans, and everybody is safe. So that's the main reason. It's not lockable. As I said, for that reason I didn't make it. It would have been easy for me to make like a latch of some kind that can lock, but for safety's sake, for me, myself, my family, and even the emergency services guys who put their lives at risk, in most cases, to help us who have gone wayward of the road, as it were, I preferred or opted to rather have a ratchet strap. But overall I'm pretty happy. I would still make some design changes. I would make it a bit lighter. I over-engineered in some cases because I was afraid that perhaps the weight of the jerry cans will play a role, but the weight isn't that much, and the moment you bring two of them together, it's a pretty solid unit already. So yeah, I might make some changes. And one way I also checked if there was issues is on the rubberizing that I put on, if there was any chafing. There was no part on here, on these edges or in between here is there any chafing. So there's no rubbing. So that means when you put them in, they are solid, and that's what you need of your jerry can holder. But overall, pretty stoked. So yeah, folks, this brings us to the last 4x4 route at Gatsrivier that we are going to tackle for this series. We will be doing another series sometime in the future about Gatsrivier, where we tackle the other half. We've basically covered the first half of Gatsrivier, or the furthest half, and yeah, the other routes are a bit more challenging, and they've got one major route that is a 4 exploring some places, which we'd like to do in the future. But that'll be series 6, 7, 8, somewhere around there. I want to explore some other terrain and other environments and so on. But yeah, Karoo baby, can't wait to get back here one day. So if you are a beginner like me and you want to tackle routes and still be completely off the grid, there's no cell phone reception here. There's electricity, there's water, there's everything you need in the chalets and even at the campsites. Everything you need to be comfortable yet be completely cut off from the rest of the world. And it's a pretty nice experience, and to be able to do, even if you're very unexperienced with your 4x4, even your X-Trails, your soft roaders as they call them, or you'd be able to do these routes quite easily. Your ground clearance isn't really that much of an issue if you know what to do. If you've focused on what we've spoken about, try to keep on the high ground and strategically play on the low ground, you know, all those things, you should be reasonably fine. And yeah, make sure you know that you are going to get some knocks and some bumps, but you know what, the end result is worth it. I kyk route, a pretty long route, but yeah, the view from up there is spectacular. The camera does not do it justice. It's the look out, you can see the Cedarburg, you can see Ceres Mountains, Tronsberg, those places. Yeah, it's just something spectacular and something very unique. Any time of year is a good time to come. Even summer, we were here in summer the first time we were here, and it was hot, but it wasn't that hot. The evenings cooled down quite nice, and it's bearable. It's not, as long as you got enough cool drinks and water with you and a little fridge or something to keep it all nice and cool, there won't be an issue. Ideal times is now March onwards. The weather is pretty calm. I mean, it's cloudy now, it's pretty cool, it's very nice. If you come, however, after any rains that were in the Karoo or in the Cape or places like that, do pack in your tabard or your mosquito repellent. And in the chalet you should be reasonably fine, as long as you keep the doors shut when the lights are on and so on, you should be fine. But if you move anywhere near the river or any gullies like these, there will be some mosquitoes, only after the rains. But like now, let's say January, December, those times where it's really hot, there was no mosquitoes. We were here the last time, we were like on the edge of the river and there were no mosquitoes whatsoever, which is pretty nice. So during the warm times of the year, no mozzies. So yeah, folks, your next visit to the Karoo, definitely recommend Gatsrivier. Even Tankwa Karoo, anywhere in the Karoo, it's just a different world. If you sit and take some time in the bushes, we mentioned now the other day, if you take a 10 meter by 10 meter square and you just sit and count how many different types of bushes and plants you find in that 10 meter by 10 meter square, it's just amazing. You drive past at speed and it just looks grey and some light green and some turquoise here and there. Maybe you get a pop-up pink plant or something like that. But really go pay attention and have a look closely at what you find there. Even the insects, there's many different types of insects. It's really a very underrated world. Do remember, folks, it is under threat. Do not make tracks where there aren't any. Stay on the tracks. Do not throw your rubbish out the window. Do not feed the animals. All these things, we know this, but we sometimes neglect to apply it. Respect nature. Respect the next person to come and follow you on your track, because it's nice to actually drive a road, see no tracks on the road, and see no rubbish, and see nothing that spoils the environment. And to go through it, that feels quite nice. But now if you've come and you're driving through beautiful terrain like this and you find a Coke can and a piece of paper and stuff like that, that's not nice. It feels commercial, it feels like, you know, and it shouldn't be like that. There shouldn't be anything. I mean, there's animals running around, I just couldn't get the camera out quick enough, because as soon as they see you, they pop up and they run. We saw springbuck, we saw duikertjies. So there's plenty of wildlife, and to leave your stuff behind, your papers and stuff, they eat that, they can get hurt from it. Sometimes even beer bottles and stuff like that, you throw that out, that piece of glass lays there, and that causes a fire in the future. You remember, one of our threats of the fynbos is also fires, so bear that in mind. Leave no trace, leave only your footprints or your tire marks on the track. Respect each other, respect nature, and come and enjoy the Karoo. Right folks, next up is this Alpha camping light. Folks, this is a beautiful piece of kit. I love this. You can make, cook, boil water, anything, anywhere you want at any time. It takes one of these big canisters. This thing runs quite powerful. Only thing I have against it is the fact that there's no shroud around here that protects it from the wind. So try, if you are going to cook something, try to cook it where there is either no wind or you perhaps have some shelter of some kind. But man, listen to that. Listen to that. That's wide open. This thing cooks very quickly. Even if there's some wind, I mean, it'll boil your water very quickly. And it's simple to use. All you do is twist and remove. You fold these little feet in, and there you go, packed away. Very nice. you.